If you know me, you probably know that I'm not a fan of pretty much any GTA game I've played for reasons that differ from game to game. Although for what it's worth, some I like more than others. However, there was one mainline GTA that I haven't played yet all this time, and it's the one many people say is the pinnacle of the franchise, San Andreas. Because I was never enamored by GTA 3 or Vice City, I sort of skipped San Andreas back when it was released, but now I finally tried it out. And I don't entirely dislike it. I actually really like the game structurally speaking, so I'm not the kind of person who necessarily thinks that more equals better, that complexity is always better than simplicity and so on. And I respect GTA 3's mayhem-driven approach to its design, which at its foundation has a certain simplicity and straightforwardness to everything. San Andreas is not simple and straightforward. Gang wars, tons of controllable vehicle types, character skills affected by minigames like gym training, as well as activities like eating, and rich customization options in comparison to its predecessors, 3 whole cities. The game is huge. But also, it doesn't seem to go into excessively huge territory. It doesn't really have features just for the sake of features, minigames that exist just because. In the end, everything connects to the core loop that still somewhere at its foundation has GTA 3's key aspect of focusing on messing around. And I understand the appeal. In fact, I feel the appeal. There was a very magical moment at one point when a plane came crashing down on the city and chaos erupted in various ways. But then you get to actually try to do something in this game and, well, it kinda plays like shit. Driving a car is the only remotely enjoyable activity. Shooting is better than the game's predecessors, but it's still kinda crap. Controlling other types of vehicles... Having your allies hit something useful for once? The crouching cover targeting mechanics? Look, I eventually learned how to best handle the motorbike through tons of breaks. That before going into shootouts, if possible, it's best to try and smack with a car as many opponents as you can. And on replays after fails, how to make the frustrating quirks of a potentially interesting mission bearable. But I would very much prefer to not have to do that, at least not on a constant basis as I did with this game. And the story didn't engage me either, it's kinda whatever. The character cast is really not great, with the exception of CJ, Kendall and Caesar, who really are the only people worth giving a damn about. Although, it's worth pointing out that I didn't reach the end, so maybe there are some standouts that appear in the second half. So, yeah. I don't dislike San Andreas, but also after trying to play the PC version, the PS2 version, the Xbox version, in hopes that, hey, maybe in one of those versions it will be comfortable to play, I can't say that I have a strong desire to stay with the game long term. Though I heard that Definitive Edition has different controls and physics, I'm not sure I appreciate the visual changes there, but maybe that version might be worth a try for potential gameplay improvements, don't know. Anyway, if I end up in some place where I have to spend several hours and there's only a PS2 or old PC or whatever and only San Andreas disc next to it, I'm not gonna say no, hence the current ranking. Also, just in case you aren't aware, I've changed recently how I rank games. Instead of a complex and hard to define vibe feeling, I now do this based on my answer to a question. If I'm forced to choose to replay 2 of the games compared for the list, what would I choose with less hesitation? And that's why a bunch of games are not numbered now. For the purposes of fairness, I'm gradually going through all previously ranked games to make sure they fit this new, straightforward method. And yeah, now that I've added Space Invaders back, I would rather play that game again than Portal or San Andreas, since personally I'd get more out of trying to become better at it and improving my score there.